From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
I swim with you in the low tide, breathe the high line, stay forever, forever the right side. Don't let go, I'll be the wave that you ride. I swim with you in the low tide, breathe the high line, stay forever, forever the right side. Don't let go, I'll be the wave that you ride.
It's a week of Friday, January 6, 2017, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and this week's show, the premiere show of the new year, is brought to you by Compassion International. When you sponsor a child with Compassion, they will receive educational assistance, supplemental food, clothing, healthcare, education, and training, opportunities for personal growth, and more. Most importantly, the child you sponsor will be connected to a local church and encouraged to develop a lifelong relationship with God. The cost to sponsor a child through Compassion is just $38 a month, and 80% of the money you commit goes directly to the programs that affect your child. Sponsorships not only link you with a boy or girl who you get to know and pray for by name, but you also have the opportunity to develop a relationship with them by corresponding through mail. It's a really cool program.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you actually get to really know this kid. It's such a cool opportunity.
I've been on a couple of Compassion trips, which I mentioned on a previous podcast, and on the last one I went on, somebody in our group got to meet the kid that they had been sponsoring
That's
for
so cool.
years. Like they had a whole lifelong relationship, and this is the first time they met. It was very moving. All the tears, all the feelings. Yeah. Allow God to work through you when you sponsor a child in poverty, and for a limited time, receive a free year of Relevant Magazine when you sponsor a child today. You'll receive both the print and tablet versions. Just sponsor a child at compassion.com/free. That's compassion.com/free to receive this special offer. You'll be able to search for a child to sponsor by age, gender, country, special needs, and more. You can even search for one who shares your birthday if you're so inclined.
That's cool.
I think the people who would name their own children Junior will be the ones who do that. Make sure you type in compassion.com/free to receive the free special offer. Well, like I said, I'm your host, Cameron, and here with me in our Orlando studios, hot and fresh, Chelsea Steele.
Hello, everybody.
That's what she said about herself right before we started recording.
Hot and fresh.
Over there on the ones and twos, our illustrious producer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
And kicking off the new year, we decided to bring somebody from the future, from Sydney, Australia. Joining us today is Adam Smith.
Hey, everybody. The future is grim.
I was going to say, you have a sneak peek at 2017 being almost a full day ahead. I take it that the year is not stacking up very well at this point for you.
No, it's post-apocalyptic.
I gotta be honest. This is true. I actually looked on Google Earth one day because I was fascinated about Australia. Isn't like 99% of it, and this isn't me just being like an arrogant American, isn't it like 99% post-apocalyptic? Isn't most of it like the outback desert?
Yeah, I mean, most of it is just a sun-blasted wasteland patrolled by gasoline gangs.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Mad Max, and that wasn't a theatrical feature film. That was a documentary that they shot about
Wagga Wagga, Australia.
Right.
That's right. I love that you threw Wagga Wagga in there.
Thank you.
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Johnnyswim joins us.
That sounds like something you would call Michael Phelps insultingly.
Little Miss Johnnyswim over here.
Yeah, look at Johnnyswim over there.
Nice medals, Johnnyswim. Yeah.
No, they are a fantastic husband and wife duo group that's actually in the new issue of Relevant, which is coming out now. And that's what you call a segue, Jesse. Coming up later, we also walk you through the new issue of Relevant. Just came out, and Ira Glass is on the cover. It's an exciting issue. We can't wait to tell you about it.
Oh, man, that is exciting. I'm writing a script for this true crime podcast for my work. And as I'm writing it, I cannot help but hear it in my head in Ira Glass's voice, and I'm telling you, it is affecting the way I'm writing it.
Give us an example.
Okay, let me look at. Let's see. When we end up in these ruts, though, we never give up on the assumption that if we wait around long enough, all those dreams we had will somehow just magically coalesce into reality, even without our active participation.
Oh my gosh.
Today on Safest Houses, the sad case of 140 Union Street in Erskineville.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah. I'll say this. When I talked to him over Skype, and at first when we talked, he asked that, that I call him back in a few minutes. He was wrapping up something else. And just that little moment was so surreal. It sounded like he sounds exactly like he does on the podcast, even his cadence. Adam, you captured it perfectly.
Of course he sounds like he sounds on the podcast. That's his voice.
Well, I'm saying like he's not projecting like a broadcaster. That's it's just pure him. He would even on the podcast intro.
You're saying like, because you think like people like Walter Cronkite, and that's the way it was. Exactly. That. Like, he doesn't talk like that when he's ordering his chicken.
Yeah. Exactly. That would be impressive.
Right, but you're saying Ira Glass just in day-to-day life is basically, like today at the supermarket, I'm buying soup.
But he says that to the checkout girl as he's paying for it.
Adam, in your version of Ira Glass's day-to-day life, he's narrating everything that happens.
Basically, I would if I were him, if I had that voice.
But he talks about the fact that like he doesn't think he has a good voice. I mean, that was like why he was behind the boards in his career and stuff. He's not like the traditional radio voice.
Yeah,
that's what I love about Ira Glass, is that someone with that voice became such a famous broadcaster.
Yeah,
and now like you hear his voice and it's like you wouldn't trade Ira Glass's voice for anything. Like it's just the best voice. But you're right. Like you would never hear that and think, oh, that guy should be a broadcaster.
Yeah, or him. I mean, like at what point did he go, you know what I need to do? Talk on the microphone. Like
really show the world these pipes.
Yeah. Like that would to me is like the only way that you would cross that line, and if it was me, is like you're the guy, you're the producer, you're behind the boards, and the talent like called in sick, and it was a live broadcast, and there was nobody else who could do it, and so you're thrust into that situation.
That whole scenario you set up there sounds very much like the reason you sit courtside at Orlando Magic games.
Just in case the coach can't make it one day.
The ball.
Just
wearing breakaway pants.
That's why Cameron brings one of those clipboards that look like it's made out of like a basketball. So that he always carries that with it, because if the coach goes down, the only person they're looking for is someone nearby who's carrying a clipboard that looks like he could know what he's doing.
And they need really a familiar voice that the players will listen to, a voice that they would respond to because they hear it all the time. So, that guy, he can just sidle up.
Instead of basketball shorts and everything, under Cameron's breakaway pants and breakaway windbreaker is a suit.
Yes.
A nice pair of khakis.
That's right. Just waiting to step in there. With the coach goes down with a hammy.
I love that a hamstring injury would prevent him from coaching.
I think it's like more likely like an unfortunate potato salad pre-game, Yeah,
he's just too because if there's one thing I've learned from pop culture, there's two ways to become an NBA coach. If you don't go the quote unquote traditional route,
right.
Okay, I feel like the deck is kind of stacked against the average Joe. One of which is to do what you're describing, is to somehow be an understudy and just or just present at the moment that the coach is stricken with food poisoning.
Well, that's the thing. It's about being at the right place at the right time, and just opportunity will find you. I mean, if you just need to be present. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to be present. You need to be ready.
You should write a book about that.
And the opportunity will present itself. That's how I've lived my life.
Yeah. Well, the other way is just like in the plot of the Whoopi Goldberg film Eddie, where she wins a halftime contest and becomes a coach of the New York Knicks, takes them on a playoff run. Both to me
forgetting the third way,
equally plausible.
Jesse, which is the third way is to be a heartless corporate raider who's sentenced by a judge to to coach a ragtag team.
That's true.
Classic.
That's true. I think that's why Ira Glass got This American Life, actually.
Yeah,
This was a community service. They made it work in public radio.
Yeah. You want to make you work in public radio and serve the greater good, you heartless corporate raider. That's what they
That's
said.
right. Now you have to
anything
take
but
this
that.
ragtag team of broadcasters and pull them together in time to win the championship.
Well, that's coming up later on the show today.
Yeah. Take this ragtag team of essayists like David Sedaris and award-winning reporters and try to craft something listenable. Maybe you'll learn something too.
Hey, so
bunch of last chance losers no one else wants to spend the time on.
Jesse, it's 2017,
Yeah.
and we, typically in the last couple weeks of the year, people aren't online as much. They're family, they're traveling, they're shopping. They're not sitting at their computers, and so our normal kind of thing that we do at Relevant is disrupted. So we'll do a lot of best of lists and things like that.
Yep.
Even the podcast, we had a clip show. Phone it in is what we're trying to say. I got an email from you on December 31st. Or maybe it's
Yes.
January 1st. And it said, oh, by the way, yesterday was the biggest day in our website's history by a large margin.
Yes.
What happened?
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what happened, and then I'm going to save the rest of. I have some other news on this front from Slices.
Oh, foreshadowing.
So on that day, I was doing as I do, scouring the internet for
Neglecting
the
your
interesting
family.
news.
Hard hitting news.
Yeah, exactly. I retreated to my internet room and left the family to their own bidding on New Year's Eve, as I'm wont to do. Yeah.
I'm off to the internet room, woman. Yeah.
to see what's going on.
Do work.
And I came across a story that fascinated me, and I did some research. I had to figure out what was behind here, and I honestly, as you said, that what I ended up publishing, I'm building some tension here. What I ended up publishing, as you said, was the most popular thing, one of the most popular things we've ever published, led to the biggest day in site history. And I was skeptical at first. I'm going to be honest. But once I saw some of the Facebook comments pour in, there are hundreds. This story that we post on our website has been shared more than 300,000 times. There's a lot of people that want to chime in on this. Has gripped the internet, particularly the relevantmagazine.com audience.
That's interesting. Okay. What you just did there, Ira Glass would call a suspended narrative.
Act 1.
Yeah. Cameron, this almost, and this is not an exaggeration when I say this, it almost literally melted our servers.
It's actually true. There was smoke and overheating coming from our Kansas server farm.
Act 2, Relevant up in flames.
Yeah. So I came across a story about a film that was evidently a popular film in the 90s that starred someone who I can only describe as a national treasure, the comedian Sinbad.
Oh.
I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the Sinbad.
His purple leather chaps.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
He was arguably, along with Whoopi Goldberg, who starred in the film Eddie, which he becomes the coach of the New York Knicks after winning a halftime contest, one of the biggest stars of the 1990s. Sinbad was everywhere.
Are we going here now? I thought this was your slice, no?
No. Oh, yeah. Let's save it for slices.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say, though, to your point, Jesse, like about him being the biggest star in the 90s, and he was, I don't know why, but I love the fact that there are some people in pop culture that collectively we hit a certain time and we're like, that'll do. Like Oliver Platt. Oliver Platt was in everything in the 90s. And then sometime around 2000, as a culture, we're just like, that's enough, Oliver Platt.
So, hold on. Who's vulnerable for that right now?
Thanks.
Do you think Pauly Shore?
Pauly Shore, you're right. Okay, we got it.
Like he's everywhere.
Vern.
He's everywhere. And all of a sudden it's just like, we're done.
Sure.
We're done here, man.
And then
we're
there's
done
just
here.
some people like Aidan Quinn. Like Aidan Quinn is not in anything anymore. In the 90s, he was leading man material. And then it's like, no, I think we've made a mistake here.
John Cusack.
The guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but that was for
Rick Moranis. See, that was intentional, though. Rick Moranis retired from acting. Rick Moranis would still be the biggest star in the world.
Well, not by stature, but
If
by
you wanted to.
reputation.
Yeah, it would be.
That's right.
You got Clooney. You got Sandra Bullock. You
Moranis.
got Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mount Rushmore, so it were, of acting.
Yeah. So Cameron, this is an interesting hypothetical question. You said so we understand what this strange role is in pop culture, where everyone just at one moment collectively decides to shake this individual's hand,
Well, it's
give
almost
a
like-
pat on the back.
It's that movie, babe. That'll do, babe. That'll do. Thanks, Rick Moranis. That'll do.
One
Thanks,
heck of a
Sinbad.
run there.
That'll do.
And it wasn't like they went down in like flaming glory. It was just like one day everyone just
But
decided.
it's also not a George Costanza go out on a high note. Like it was a premeditated, I'm going to leave them wanting more. It's just everybody just collectively exhaled and said, that'll do.
So
it's like we collectively came to our senses, you know. Like
They did too.
like,
you know what I mean? Like they're like,
sometime
okay, now I'm done.
sometime The year 2000, we're like, Oliver Platt. What were we thinking?
My question is who we're in the midst of it. So the thing is you're blind to reality when you're in the middle of it.
Right.
You can't see the forest for the trees. So if we're in the middle of it, who are we vulnerable that we're kind of like oversaturating and we're just going to collectively go, okay, that's enough. I'm wondering about Chris Pratt. Yeah. Chris Pratt's a little.
I love Chris Pratt.
I do too.
I really do. But I'm willing to bet he's going to be one of those guys that's like, why is he not in stuff anymore?
See, I'm thinking a notch lower because. Well, and I guess you know, I do see what you're saying with Chris Pratt because he's like everywhere, but the thing, he's a one note guy, you know. And I think a lot of these people have a similarity where they're basically playing themselves every time. But I could see like Kevin James, his TV show getting canceled on CBS this week, and us never hearing from him again. Like basically, Kevin James just disappears off the face of the planet, and no one would really remember until like 2 years from now.
Hold on, I don't know. Here's the reason why. Kevin James is always funny. Like Sinbad, while great in his almost like Eddie Murphy's stand-up specials and stuff like that, like it was like it personified a moment in comedy. Sinbad like personified this moment in comedy. Like Kevin James never reached that pinnacle.
Yeah.
He's just always above average. He's never been great and then like fell off. Like he never peaked. And I think the thing about Sinbad is he peaked. You know?
He's kind of like Starbucks coffee where it's just consistent mediocrity.
Consistently, I smile, you know? I mean, I sadly watching Grown Ups 2, which holds up better than Grown Ups 1.
The quarry scene. I keep telling people it's great.
TBS has been playing Grown Ups 2 for some reason, that 1 a.m. Friday night thing, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't play Grown Ups 1, but they'll throw a Grown Ups 2 in there every month or so. And I'm telling you, it's not as bad as you think it is. And it's because of Kevin James. It's like,
King of Queens.
But I feel like that whole movie is cast with people who are just survivors. Like if there was a Hollywood comedy nuclear war, the people that would claw their way out and refuse to die are like Rob Schneider, David Spade, Kevin James, that whole crew.
Yeah.
They're unkillable.
They're much like cockroaches that way.
yes. Comedic cockroaches.
They are, because they're completely unkillable. Trends can change. You know, the movie formats can change. Everything can change. Those dudes are not going away, despite however bad we want them to.
I'm wondering what history will say about Jimmy Fallon.
I don't think it will be kind.
I don't either.
Really?
I don't either. I think what we're seeing in time is that as enjoyable and refreshing as his approach to late night has been, it's one note.
Yeah, and it gets
And the note is getting
I have to say, I
monotonous.
turned on him a long time ago.
me too. I've never really been a fan.
Do you think he is basically this generation's Jay Leno?
Oh, no.
I don't think he's even Jay Leno.
What? Why?
I think he's okay. If I'm going to go on my Jimmy Fallon rant,
Please.
I think he's sycophantic to the point of being almost unwatchable with his guests. And number two, I think he spends most of his time trying to impress upon us how talented he is rather than giving the spotlight to his guests. It's like, I know you can sing, Jimmy Fallon. Let Bruce Springsteen do it. You brought him here to do this.
Yeah.
Just shut up for a minute and let him do it.
I think the people, I think the shtick, the happy, everything silly shtick,
Like, you're
jumped the
amazing,
shark
you're so awesome, yeah.
during the election guests when Clinton
Yeah.
and Trump were on there. I think collectively America went, really? Really?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
So-
the hair tussle,
Yeah.
the Donald Trump hair tussle,
I think that'll
was,
be the moment that we look back on.
But I think that is the absolute perfect, like the perfect personification, the perfect snapshot of everything he's about.
Yeah.
And always has been.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you liked it up until now, but it's like cool, but we all grow and evolve and change and morph and add layers in our life and our things, and it's like we love this refreshing, different approach to late night. What more do we got? Where's it going? And
Yeah.
then where it's going is the presidential candidate's on there. You're tussling his hair. I think that'll be the BCAD moment for his trajectory on late night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
you're saying that is his Sinbad's house guest. The last we were like, he was with Phil Hartman.
Wow.
It was funny. It was good. But he followed it with First Kid, and that was basically a made-for-TV movie. I mean, I see what you're saying.
So I can't wait for Slices. That's going to be exciting. Well, moving
Yeah.
the show along, it's time. We've got 2 weeks of content. It's time for our look back at what happened this past 2 weeks in culture and entertainment. It's time for...
In case you missed it.
Well, in case you missed it, this past week, the Passion Conference has been happening in Georgia. Before I say the in case you missed it, I want to say something that came up in conversation today about Passion Conferences.
Great.
There's this thing. If you heard Alec Baldwin's conversation with Questlove on his podcast, where Questlove was talking about how there's a moment where, he was in the early 2000s. They were making a film about hip hop, and they were filming the Roots was part of this film. And he said there's this moment when an artist in their career where they've reached the pinnacle, and then they go away. And so you build up to this big event, or with an artist like this, you're part of this movie chronicling your importance in hip hop. And then he's like, while we were shooting, there's this young up and comer in the room called Kanye West, and all the young people in the shoe were freaking out. And all of a sudden he's going, I'm realizing our career's over. We're being documented. We're not part of the future. And it's like we hit the top.
There's a
and then
theme
you go
going on
away
this week
right?
of career ending.
So So Questlove was talking about that, and they made conscious decisions as a band. What do we do? Because that was the Dre era, and there was a lot of they just weren't fitting in with where hip hop was going at the time. Anyway, very interesting. So I liken that to arena events or movements. They you kind of have 5,000 people, and then next year they'll have 15,000 people, and then it's building. Promise Keepers would have been in the Christian world, something like this. And then you're filling a football stadium,
Classic.
and then. Been there, done that.
Right.
Well, okay, it culminated. It won't get better than this.
The Oliver Platt of conferences.
Correct. And I experienced it at its best, and then it goes away. It just goes away.
Yeah, last time there was 2 youth vans at the Acquire the Fire, and they were broke down from last year.
No.
Yeah. So this week, Passion was happening in Atlanta at the Georgia Dome. 55,000 college students were there, and Passion is the one thing, the outlier that I can think of that has not peaked and regressed. They have had 50 to 80,000 college students every January consistently for the last decade. And they're raising millions of dollars for social justice. And they're every event is well, it can't be better than this. And then next year, it's just as full, and there's just as much fresh energy, and it's crazy to me.
By Jesse's metric, they're the David Spade of conferences.
But the thing to me is it hasn't peaked at 55,000, 60,000, and then regressed to a mean of 25 ongoing. It's consistently packing a football stadium, and it's just such an anomaly, and it's a remarkable thing. And even this week, even though I wasn't able to attend, I just saw only positive stuff about what God was doing there and how exciting it was. And that brings me to our first in case you missed it. In case you missed it, this week Crowder was performing on stage at Passion Conference, and out comes country music star Carrie Underwood.
Country music superstar. I mean, she's arguably one of the biggest names in not just pop music, but country music for sure.
And she came out and let Jesus take the wheel. And she led. That's my only country song that I've ever been able to reference in my life. Thank you.
You were waiting for that reference for this moment, weren't you?
It just came to mind.
It worked perfectly.
Anyway, she took the stage with Crowder to perform her song "Something in the Water" in front of the 55,000 people. It was the opening night of the worship conference. It was amazing. Here's a clip. In case you didn't know, or in case you missed it, she's, the former American Idol winner, has been very open about her faith. It's a constant theme in her music. She grew up singing in the church. In 2015, she told People magazine that she plans on raising her son in the church as well. She said, we want to go to church, not just for lessons and learning, but also to have a community and be surrounded by people who are just trying to raise their kids up good. So there you go. Carrie Underwood. Good. Carrie Underwood, everybody. It's crazy. In case you missed it, this week, Mark Zuckerberg announced that he's no longer an atheist. On Christmas weekend, that's timely, he posted a message to his followers wishing them a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah. After he posted the comment, a user asked, but aren't you an atheist? And then Zuckerberg said, no, I was raised Jewish, and then I went through a period where I questioned things, but now I believe religion is very important. He even then made a lighthearted joke about faith when a user asked, but why Facebook doesn't notify that it's Jesus' birthday today? And he replied, you're not friends with Jesus on Facebook? Adding a smiling emoji with a halo. Look at him using his tools to their utmost.
Wow.
He's like, I'll finally get to use this one. Hey, Cameron, that emoji is his Jesus Take the Wheel reference. He was waiting. He's been waiting all these years for that.
For years on his own Facebook profile, he self-identified as an atheist, but he later removed the religious preferences field from his own About Me section. Last year, he and his wife met with Pope Francis to discuss ways that technology could help the poor and told him, quote, how much we admire his message of mercy and tenderness and how he's found new ways to communicate with people of every faith around the world, adding, it was a meeting we'll never forget. You can feel his warmth and kindness and how deeply he cares about helping people. So there you go. Mark Zuckerberg now is just open to spiritual things being possible.
Oh, wonderful.
Mark Zuckerberg is interesting because he's arguably on a short list of the most powerful people in the world. Yet, it's easy to forget he's like a 30-something
Rick Moranis, dude. Mark Zuckerberg.
90s Sinbad. 90s Sinbad. Yeah, and of course David Spade. I mean, they are the Illuminati. But it's easy to forget a dude like him is still just like a regular 30-something dude that jokes around in Facebook threads.
That was my favorite part about all of this, that he was even interacting with just a casual Facebook user.
Yeah.
In case you missed it, Wes Anderson has announced details about his new film, Isle of Dogs. It's like Fantastic Mr. Fox. It uses stop-motion animation and features a lot of talking animals. Not a lot of details about the plot have been revealed, but that's not why you watch Wes Anderson movies. You watch them just for the pictures and how prettily they're shot. It's just like 2-hour Instagram montage, basically. It's going to tell the story of a young boy in Japan who goes on an adventure while searching for a missing dog. We do know that. Like most Anderson movies, it has an incredible cast, including Ed Norton, Scarlett Johansson, Rick Moranis, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton.
Did you just say Rick Moranis?
Adam, there's a name in this list that I specifically added because I think you're going to have a stake in this film coming out. Cameron, continue.
Okay, Ed Norton, Scarlett Johansson, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Jeff Goldblum, Harvey Keitel, Yoko Ono, Bob Balaban, and a ton of other notable names.
Bob Balaban.
Yeah.
Don't you own a very valuable Bob Balaban website?
Well, I certainly hope it's valuable because I have borrowed a lot of money based upon its future earnings. So,
what is the Bob Balaban URL that you do in fact own?
It's bobbalafans.com.
So this is you're squatting on a hypothetical fan site for the actor
not
Bob
a bad
Balaban.
idea.
That's right.
Jesse, if he had been squatting on a Sinbad fan site, you know how much programmatic ad revenue he'd be raking
dude,
in
you'd
this
be a
week.
millionaire. All you can hope is that some weird conspiracy happens with Bob Balaban in the wake of this film releasing. Adam. Your payday is coming.
I need something about Bob Balaban to go viral.
Hey, what is on Bob Balaban's right now? Like, what do you have up on that site right now?
As of right now, I don't have anything because I just wanted to get the URL so that I could offer it free of charge as a gift to Bob Balaban.
You need
Because
to put,
I am such a Bob Bala fan that I thought, it's obviously an oversight that he doesn't own this.
You need
and
to at
I
least-
want to make sure I get to it before some unscrupulous squatter gets to
You
it.
need to at
and
least
then tries to charge him for it.
You need to at least put one of those striped barricades with the flashing light gifs.
Yeah, with the little guy digging.
Yeah, the little shovel saying under construction from 1997. Hey, for the next month, Wes Anderson fans can even enter a CrowdRise raffle to voice one of the dogs in the movie, with all the money raised going to preserve motion picture history through the efforts of Martin Scorsese's Film Foundation. We should nominate Ira Glass to be the voice of one of the dogs.
Yeah, I would like that. Yeah,
Or
I mean, he would be a non-traditional voice, but I mean, he shows.
Well,
he's got it.
what would happen is Rick Moranis is scheduled, and as Ira Glass is wont to do, is he just hangs out around studios in case the primary talent can't make it, and then he sidles up, and then all of a sudden he's a famous broadcaster. So there
Cameron,
you go.
I have a conspiracy based on that comment.
What's
What
that?
are the odds that Ira Glass slid over that planned host that was going to host Ira Glass, or in this case Rick Moranis, some rank potato salad, and said, "Here, I made this special for you." Eat up.
Hey, before we need to lube up those vocal cords, have some potato salad. They didn't realize he left it on the dash of his car for the last few hours.
He calls that maneuver glassing the competition.
So wait, you're telling me glassing the competition is just giving them rank, rancid potatoes? Oh yeah. The thing about potato salad, you can't tell when it's gone bad because it always tastes terrible. So it's really the perfect crime. I mean, it's got botulism. It's
Day at work,
botulism.
I'm glassing the competition.
4 vats of potato
The
salad.
movie I Love Dogs with Rick Moranis and Ira Glass or not, I don't know. Releases sometime in 2018. In case you missed it, this week Lauren Daigle performed live worship on Good Morning America. She sang her hit singles Trust in You, Come Alive, and Jesus Take the Wheel. As the GMA host pointed out, the Grammy nominee has not one, but 2 chart-topping albums in the past 2 years and is one of the fastest-selling artists in Christian music in the past decade and Billboard's top Christian artist of 2016. Here's
Crazy.
a clip of her GMA performance. We love Lauren. We still take full credit for her success. So there you go.
Absolutely. And we demand it too. We don't just take it and state it. We have been demanding it from her. And now we'll demand it from the host of Good Morning America.
We actually sent them a cease and desist letter.
Yeah, I would hate to see any of them get glassed in the future. Hey, look, Relevant just sent us a gigantic vat of potato salad with a sticky note that says "Eat up," and it has a winky emoji in it. This is quite nice because I was hungry. I hadn't eaten lunch today, so
A winky emoji with a halo over it.
Yeah.
You know, I got that from Zuckerberg. Yeah. In case you missed it, the trailer for the upcoming Shaq adaptation has reignited a theological controversy. A big screen version of the book from author William Paul Young doesn't hit theaters until March 3rd, but some pastors are already speaking out again, with some going as far as calling it heresy for its depictions of God. The trailers show Oscar-winning actress Octavia Spencer and Rick Moranis portraying God the Father in the film's version of the Trinity, who takes the human form to comfort a grieving father, played by Avatar Sam Worthington, standing in for Ira Glass. Spencer addressed the casting controversy in an interview with USA Today, explaining, "It's like, oh my gosh, someone's playing God, but people have to remember it's a manifestation of God, how the character sees God, not necessarily how or who or what God is. Last year, William Paul Young explained in an interview with Goodreads that he wanted to challenge people's ideas about the character and nature of God with his work of fiction, even if they got angry. He said, at least with an angry person, you can have a conversation. I live my life that way. Because when people are upset, something in them is being challenged enough to raise their ire, and that's an engaged process and opens up the possibility of really great conversation. I love the questions. I love the conversation. I think it's our way forward. There you go.
Cameron, I should note on this one, it's the movie The Shack, and I was confused for a while because I thought this was the Shaquille O'Neal biopic that was causing quite the stir theologically.
That's honestly immediately what I thought.
Yeah. So you thought that they cast Octavia Spencer to play the role of Shaq, and that's why the controversy ensued?
I was confused where the theological element came in, but, I'll say this, I'd be very interested in seeing this film.
The theological element would be the actual Genie movie that actually existed in reality, Shaq's Kazam.
That's right. All right, well, that'll do it for In Case You Missed It. Stay tuned. Up next, Slices.
I've got nothing to lose. I've got nothing to hide. But whenever you say my name, I lose my mind. How about you and me? It's true. Nobody feels like I do about you. Every time you leave away, it's just not the same. But I am never far away.
You're listening to Rye. The song is Wildlife. You know about that.
So good.
At the beginning of the podcast, you heard X, Y, and O, not P or T or anything like that, just X, Y, and O with Low Tide. During the break, we were talking about The Shack and William Paul Young, the author. I was up at a lodge in British Columbia with him, and I was like, "Oh, he's the heresy guy." I mean, that's like I knew all about him.
Known.
It was-
Hey, Cameron, can I ask you, because of that quote, was he trying to anger you the whole time just to get in a conversation
This guy
with you?
was
Not about theologic.
He was
Just-
the
just
biggest
like
rabble
throwing stuff
rouser.
at
I
you.
hate
He
the
would try to
Orlando
get
Magic.
everybody so mad because then at least then we could have a great conversation. He would just keep trying to make everybody mad.
Please tell me you glassed them by the end of the weekend. Because that's about how long it takes to spoil that potato salad. I mean, it's pretty durable if you put enough sodium in there. So, I mean, you need at least 4 days in the sun.
Yeah. Well, it's the same trip where I had Cohen with me and he got a splinter running barefoot on a boardwalk.
Wow.
And it got pulled out. The splinter got pulled out. My inconsolable 4-year-old was treated by Ace Ventura director Tom Shadyac, and Cohen called him Dr. Tom the rest of the week.
Dr.
You may also remember the other faith-based movie that was branded heretical, The Shadyac.
The Shadyac. Well, that's why that came to mind. Well, we were talking about the Shack. I had that trip, and the author of the Shack was on this trip, and then Tom Shadyac was on the trip, and it all just kind of morphed in my head, like Shazam and Kazam and Sinbad, and we're all victims here with our brains misremembering movies, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And with that, it's time for Slices. That's what you call a segue, Jesse. What do you have, Jesse?
So, as we alluded to earlier, the story that blew up our website was about a Sinbad movie that everyone claims to have seen, or at least a lot of people have claimed to have seen, but has never actually existed. The movie in question was supposedly called Shazam, and the theory goes among the people who with 100% certainty say that they've seen it, is that a version of a genie comedy in which Sinbad, the 90s actor, is discovered in a bottle, comes out in genie form, and helps a young child. In the plot that's going around the internet, and some people distinctly remember the plot and even scenes in the movie, he helps this kid's parents get their marriage back together. So the theory is that Shazam, starring Sinbad, came out just before Kazam, starring Shaq, sort of an Ants Bugs Life situation. But Kazam was the Shaquille O'Neal knockoff. Now, here's the thing. No evidence of this movie existing is anywhere. There's no old VHS tapes. There's no photos. There's some Photoshop hoaxes that people have sent around. But Sinbad himself has claimed that he has never been in a genie movie. And I've been investigating. I've been going down this rabbit hole. I spent, most of the holidays, actually, the New Year holiday, deep in thought about this. I've been reaching out to Sinbad's people. Curiously, they've been avoiding me. I obviously, there's something to hide here, but there is no evidence anywhere that this movie has existed. Now, I want to go around the table real quick. Okay. Chelsea, you claimed you have seen a movie called Shazam starring Sinbad.
Yep, sure have.
Cameron,
I recall seeing Sinbad as a genie in something.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
I feel like you guys are just confusing it because he wore colorful things in big pants.
he did wear genie-like
which
pants.
is completely a
Well,
genie
Sinbad was the name of a DreamWorks animated early 90s movie about a Middle East genie named Sinbad. Yeah, so there is an animated movie called Sinbad about a genie from the early 90s.
And the premise that everyone thinks that movie is about is a pretty generic 90s.
But I still feel like I don't recall this movie the way that Chelsea and Rebecca and other people do. But I do recall seeing him dressed as a genie.
See, me too. That's what
At one point, he was on a sketch on Keenan and Kel, like their sketch comedy show, where he played a genie, but that was only for 2 minutes of screen time. Here's what people on our own Facebook thread have said. This guy named David said, just ask. Okay, this is what's creeping me out here. Okay, because I get it that there's a lot of things that could be confused, but this seems like a massive collective false memory. Here's what a guy named David on our Facebook page said. Just ask a coworker if he remembered the movie Shazam. Without hesitation, he said yes, with Sinbad.
Wow.
Okay.
That's like the way you delivered that is like he saw a ghost. Like,
Okay. Time out. This guy had no context. He actually turns around to he reads our story.
Right.
He's baffled.
Right.
He turns to his coworker and says, "Coworker, have you seen Shazam?" And he just answers point blank with Sinbad. That's too much of a coincidence. Okay, here's someone else. When I saw the commercial for Shazam, I remember thinking, that is ridiculous how close that is to Shazam. What a ripoff. There are tons of these. This person says that they swear they recorded it on the Disney Channel.
Well, I can understand, how we've all forgotten Shazam given the runaway hit that Kazam was and how it swept the Oscars that year.
I read a comment from a guy who claimed, this guy's in his 50s, okay, who claimed to run a Blockbuster Video at the time. And Shazam was so much more popular than Shaq's Kazam that they carried 2 copies of Sinbad Shazam, but only one of Shaq's Kazam.
Wow.
These memories seem too specific for everyone to get wrong. I think I think we need to be open to the possibility that this movie existed, but for reasons that we may never know, has been disappeared from pop culture forever.
Interesting.
So there are some real people crying conspiracy, but others are just labeling it the Mandela effect.
Exactly. So
right?
there is a phenomenon called the Mandela effect, and it gets its name from people who believe they remember hearing that Nelson Mandela died in a South African prison back in the 80s. Like, they have that specific memory, which of course we all know that's not true. He went on to very prominent political career and just died back in 2003. But there's a lot of people who say they remember back in the 80s hearing that he died and can't believe that everyone got that memory wrong. It's called the Mandela effect, but that's not the only time it's taken place in pop culture. I'm going to quiz you guys on a couple of things to see if this collective false memory with these other items exists amongst our cast, okay? Cameron, do you remember a show on HBO that starred Sarah Jessica Parker?
Yes.
What was that show called?
Sex and the City.
It's actually Sex and the City.
That's what I said. Sex and the City.
I thought you said in the city.
Sex and the City. And I just didn't enunciate my duh.
Interesting.
Sorry.
I would have got that wrong.
A lot of people are...
I have the VHS box set. Come on.
Okay, so you actually see it all the time. Okay, how about this one? Oscar Mayer. Adam, how is Oscar Mayer, the hot dog, spelled?
It's Mayer.
That's right.
It is M-A. A lot of people could have sworn it's E. All right, how about this one? Chelsea, is the Monopoly man wearing a monocle or not?
He is wearing
he's
a
not.
monocle.
No.
You're
No
kidding.
monocle.
Who is the peanut
No
guy?
monocle.
Peanut Guy's monocle.
Wow.
Monopoly Man has the cane and the top hat,
I would've gotten
but he's
that
got
one
the big
wrong.
mustache.
A friend,
Yes.
maybe.
You can't have a monocle and a mustache that big.
Interesting.
The hairs
The
would get
clash.
trapped up underneath the glass.
Yeah,
and you'd be
you're- no,
seeing,
you're right.
You're kind of
seeing
over
wisps.
accessorizing at that
What a
point,
debacle.
even for a guy that's running with a gigantic bag of money.
Yeah, you don't see the Peanut running around with a mustache and a monocle.
But he does have
He would have had a plain face. He needed the monocle to give you some visual.
Jazz it up.
Yeah, but that's because peanuts can't grow facial hair.
Right, but that's the point. That's why he had to accessorize in another way.
Yeah.
It's like for me, I can't grow a beard, so you just
Glasses.
they gotta do glasses. Yeah, I mean, if I could grow a beard, I would just walk around blurry vision all day.
Okay, Chelsea, a beloved children's book series about a family of bears. What was that? What was that series called?
The Berenstain Bears?
It's actually the
Berenstain Bears?
Bernstein with an A at the end.
The
Yeah,
Bernstein Bears?
Yeah.
Jesse,
Yeah,
you
I'm
are
with you.
caught up in all kinds of heresy right now.
Yeah, I remember EIN rather than AIN.
Yeah, it's actually A.
I'm closer to having read those than you all because I had a young son,
Right,
and
right,
so
right, right.
I knew that it was stain, and I would enunciate it very intentionally for him, so he didn't
Wow.
grow up ignorant.
Well, I
fortunate of
remember it as Berenstain Bears because I remember the cartoon show and them pronouncing it that way, but I still thought it was spelled EIN.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
I
actually
taught him how to pronounce it by pointing out all the stains that he causes, and I'm going to call you a Berenstain bear and shame every time you dribble something on the carpet. It was a shame mechanism
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Now Cohen cries every time he sees anything Bernstein Bears related and
Or anything
profusely
bear
apologizes.
related.
Yeah.
Anything bear related, yeah.
Okay, how about this one? Kit Kat, does it have a dash or not?
No.
No dash.
I go no dash.
You're correct. It has no dash. Okay, how about this? Okay, one more. Because you guys are kind of disproving the Mandela effect, making the Sinbad thing all that much more mysterious. You're really blowing this, guys. Really blowing this. Of course he had a monocle. Okay. Chelsea, a peanut butter brand that starts with a J.
I just have to say the name of it.
Yeah.
Jiffy?
Cameron?
Jif or Jiffy? I think it's Jif.
Adam?
Oh,
Jif.
gosh.
It's just Jif. There is no Jiffy peanut butter.
What?
A lot of people claim that they've always remembered Jiffy peanut butter. Again,
Interesting.
Cameron and Adam are really blowing this Nelson, this Mandela effect thing.
Well,
But it's
this is 100% because of I think the most compelling and plausible theory I've heard about all this is that the many universes theory in physics, that there are all these different universes are coexisting. One of the theories behind these false memories is that at some point we live in a universe in which two parallel universes converged. And so part of the people, some of the people who are living in our universe used to live in an alternate universe that has since converged with ours. And they still have the memories of things that were slightly different in that universe.
Isn't that what
I think
Westworld's about?
it's like every episode of The Twilight
and so
Zone.
that
basically.
explains why
Sounds vaguely
Cameron and I
familiar.
it explains why Cameron and I are doing so well, because we're from this universe, but Chelsea is from the other one.
Yeah.
In Chelsea's home universe, Sinbad, we never got tired of. Shazam was a huge hit, and he's still top of the world. He's we no longer are wondering if he's still alive.
Rick Moranis is actually president.
Huge.
Yeah.
You also
Yeah.
have to remember that I own almost every Sinbad movie because my dad did buy the entire inventory at Blockbuster. So
When you say Blockbuster, you mean the bin at Rite Aid when they were all taped
Right,
together
right,
with
right.
Scotch tape for $4. don't you?
Walgreens.
My mom loved her some Sinbad comedy. That clean, raucous comedy. So I am blazoned in my head from the 90s is his stand-up specials where he had the patent leather purple chaps.
Yeah, me too.
And the neon blue chaps.
You know what was
there
weird
a lot
about
of
that comedy
chaps.
special? I think it was called Son of a Preacher Man, because I remember it was on heavy rotation at Comedy Central at one point, and I remember it was clean and I could watch it too. Do you remember he had dance routines right in the middle of the comedy special?
Yeah.
Like he would stop telling jokes and do a whole choreographed routine in it like it wasn't weird.
No, I mean he's kind of Sammy Davis Jr. kind of entertainer on all spectrums. He can do comedy, do a little song, little dance.
But the thing is, they weren't comedy dances. They weren't sketches. They were just we're going to stop telling jokes.
That was Sammy. That's what Sammy did. He sang real. He crooned well, and then he would tell a joke. He's kind of like the Mark Lowry of comedy.
But the thing is, it makes it less weird if you're singing. If you just decide to if you're like, okay, everyone needs a break from these jokes that everyone is enjoying. We're doing a full hour here, and every joke's killing it. I'm going to dance for a while. In hindsight, maybe that's why we stopped liking him, because everyone kind of agreed that was a weird move on his part. Like, I don't know if we can trust this guy anymore.
When you're sitting there in the audience watching a comedian, and he's kind of a doughy guy, the thing you think is, man, I really want to see that guy dance.
But
because
and
he looks light on his feet.
He would have background dancers come out, and he wanted to show you. It's like Jimmy Fallon. He wanted to show you how talented he is. Look how good I'm as good of a dancer.
Wow.
I'll blow your mind right now.
But at least Jimmy Fallon has the courtesy to try to tie it into a comedy sketch. It's not like in the middle of his monologue he just starts dancing. The thing I think that why we all left Sinbad behind is because he tried to normalize this out of context dancing, and nobody was comfortable with it.
That's true.
It took us a while to realize it, but everyone realized this is inappropriate. And if this catches on, it's going to throw all of society out of whack, because in any situation, people could just start dancing, and it just makes it weird for everybody. So maybe that's why we just kind of shelved him in our collective unconscious and forgot about this movie called Shazam that evidently never existed.
So this has been percolating. If you go deep in the Sinbad Twitter archives, he's been talking about this for months.
Really?
Because back in early October, somebody was like, he had been a point of conversation at that point of, you've played a genie somewhere, and a user named H.A. Potter solved the Sinbad genie mystery, and Sinbad tweeted this. Apparently, he hosted an afternoon of Sinbad the Sailor movies in 1994, and he dressed as a sailor, like with the head wrap and the poofy pirate shirt and stuff. And that's the image that a lot of people remembered him looking like a genie from this one afternoon of hosting these movies. That's what he thinks. But there was a picture that he spread of it. But here's the deal. Yeah, Sinbad, to tie this up, Sinbad says, okay, for all you people who think I did a genie movie, well, I haven't done one yet, but am going to do one so we can close this chapter. Here's the deal. I don't know that there's that many people offering Sinbad a genie movie. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is he's going to glass somebody. He's going to dress up as a genie. He's going to sidle up to a movie studio with a big old vat of potato salad and just see if he can sidle his way into a film.
Good call.
Like someone like The Rock.
Because they are constantly making genie movies in Hollywood. It is the most common genre.
Yeah, I was gonna say that all these genie movies on the docket.
No, it's a 20-year cycle. So you got the Aladdin genie of the early 90s.
Yep.
You add Kazam of the early 90s.
Shaq.
So we're due for a genie revival, the retro nostalgia Space Jam redo type thing.
Yeah.
Genies are coming back. Sinbad's going to sidle up with his potato salad and glass everybody.
Wow.
Cameron, I got another theory. He's grossly misreading this situation like an inappropriate dance break in a comedy routine. He's offering to give people a genie movie they don't want. They're just saying they remember it. They're not saying we want you to make one. This is his problem from day one.
Lack of awareness.
We said we didn't think you could dance. We're just saying we don't. No one's asking you to do it in the middle of some great jokes here.
Yeah.
You're missing a line here, man.
Yeah,
no one's asking for the genie movie. This isn't hundreds of thousands of people coming to our site to tell us how much they want a Sinbad genie movie. This is hundreds of thousands telling us that they've seen one Sinbad. I'm doing you a favor here. This is the dance thing all over again.
Disney is remaking all their kind of 90s cartoon hits as live action movies. So Aladdin is certain to be on the docket somewhere. I think we start a petition right now that Sinbad gets that part.
Hey, Adam, if only we had a website somewhere with a pre-existing fan base, be it another actor, that we could get this petition off the ground. I think we finally found a purpose for BobBalafans.com. It will be the home to our petition to kickstart a genie movie. starring
How
Sinbad.
amazing would it be if the URL bobbalafans.com was nothing but a campaign to get Sinbad to play the genie in a live-action Aladdin movie? No mention of Bob Balaban.
So we get all these signatures. We get all these signatures of people, and we are spamming up every Disney executive with bobbalafans.com, even though all it has to do is try to reboot Aladdin starring Sinbad. It's very confusing.
Yeah. Welcome to bobbalafans.com, the site devoted to making sure Sinbad plays the genie in a live-action Aladdin adaptation.
All right, what do you have, Chelsea?
I mean, how do you follow that?
By stopping, like putting a period on that sentence and starting a new sentence.
Great.
Yeah.
That's how.
Well, there's a new virtual reality toy on the market. As you know, this last year has been very big for virtual reality goggles and headsets. They've earned their place in the mainstream marketplace. Everyone's trying to find a new way to make virtual reality experiences more real. Well, now you can forget just seeing and experiencing another world. There is now a virtual reality shoe that you can buy. It's called the. This is real.
Real quick, this is
real life.
this is the Jimmy Fallon Donald Trump hair tussle of the virtual reality.
Yeah.
This is the peak. This is where everyone realized virtual reality might be kind of lame if I got to wear special shoes for any activity. Let me say this: any activity that requires special shoes is inherently lame. Exhibit A, bowling. Exhibit 2, golf. Continue, Chelsea.
Exhibit 3, virtual reality shoes.
I mean, you got to wear cleats to play football and baseball.
You don't have to. I can go play out in the street. If I'm bowling, they're not even letting me in there without.
That's true.
You know?
All right.
They got a whole
right.
rental desk.
So what
you
does
know?
this virtual reality shoe do? Does it just kind of squeeze and massage you like a shiatsu thing?
Well, one woman tried them and said that she tried a plastic prototype paired with a VR headset and said it felt a little clunky and unfinished, but the effect was noticeable. The different vibration patterns felt reasonably close to what you'd expect walking through the snow or sand.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
interesting.
I guess you could like walk around, like hypothetically, you could be on some sort of like treadmill and actually walk through the game instead of just like using a controller or
Sure.
something.
Yeah, because that's what you want. A bunch of people with goggles strapped on their face walking around. You know?
Can I admit something? Can I admit something embarrassing?
Please do.
This whole time, Chelsea, when you've been talking about a virtual reality shoe, what I assumed you meant was a pretend shoe that you put on a virtual reality headset. And you're like, oh, wow, it's like I'm wearing a shoe. Like you look down at your foot.
You're like, this is the
and there's a
lamest
shoe
virtual
there that
reality
wasn't there
game
before.
ever. I just try on shoes. I'm glad I bought this $500
what a lame
Oculus.
game.
Well, now you don't have to go to the mall and try on the shoes. You can virtually see how
There
they
you
look on
go.
your feet.
A
Actually,
home
it's not a bad idea.
I don't think we're
We
too
don't need
far
to be
from
shipping
that.
shoes back and forth to Zappos. Just give everybody some headsets.
There you go.
I heard another, like if there's like combat games, you could like kick the opponent. But to me, we've all been down. You guys obviously remember the Nintendo Power Glove.
Yeah.
I feel like, how is this different than the Nintendo Power Glove? It's just a lamer, more expensive version.
Yeah, way more. It's $1,000 right now.
Oh.
I just don't.
Per shoe or per pair?
Per pair,
All right.
which I still don't even see
Because that would
anyone
be
investing
super
in.
lame if you played VR games and you only had one, so
One
you can only do
shoe.
games where you jump on one foot. There's like one VR game out there where the entire game comprises of you jumping around on one foot after
Oh
you
no,
try
it's
on
just a
one
bunch
shoe.
of just karate kicking. That's all you can do. It's just a karate game.
Apparently, they're working towards making it feeling like you can even experience splashing water or jumping in a puddle. in your
Wow,
game.
that's so exciting for VR.
But at what point are they going to make like a vest, or are you just going to get in like a virtual reality suit, and then we
I mean,
just
that
realize
defeats the purpose of like experiencing virtual reality if you have to put on.
Yeah, why don't you,
You know
just?
what I
They
mean?
should just make a tank. Just a you can buy like a human aquarium. You can have your home. You crawl in, and all the sensory, is like electronically manipulated, and you become this other augmented reality.
well, I mean, isn't that just the pods in the Matrix?
Yes, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
That's next.
Yeah, and at least they look more dignified, even though they're like shriveled up in those pods. At least they're not wearing goofy plastic VR shoes that they paid.
There's no way.
$1,000
These
for.
look like a combination of like a snowboarding boot and a Birkenstock. There's no way these will ever take off.
The whole time you guys have been talking about this, all I've been thinking about is how we can now devote bobbalafans.com to the act of virtually trying on shoes so you don't have to go into the store. So you go to bobbalafans.com and it is the internet's premier site for virtually trying on shoes.
So Adam, here's your pitch to people when they go to Bob Balafans, and you know. That is supposing they get the new one, not the old Sinbad Aladdin. Okay, so they go there.
Well, the Sinbad petition is a pop-up.
Yeah,
when you first get there.
No, I've already 401 that.
Okay, that's
so
out.
people go to bobbalafans.com,
Right.
and presumably the first people on board with this home try-on program are actual Bob Balafans, are fans of Bob Balafan that just stumbled onto the site.
If we know anything about the Bob Balafan fan base, Bob Balafan fans, is that they are discerning shoe connoisseurs. And so, I mean, if you go to any Bob Balaban's autograph signing, a phenomenal footwear in the crowd there.
Yeah, I would say, look, if it is predominantly fans of the actor Bob Balaban, then that's number one, coincidence. And number two, an entirely understandable coincidence, because who isn't a fan of Bob Balaban?
That's right. Right.
So
That's
you're
just
saying
like saying, are all your customers
you might as well
human?
have the greatest URL ever because it encompasses all of humanity.
Right. Well, in this universe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In this universe. In another universe, Bob Balafan is a hated dictator.
In another, he sputtered out after House Guest with Phil Hartman. We haven't.
Oh, that's an exciting development from the tech world.
Sad
CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, is going on this week, so that's Chelsea's beat on what's happening in tech. What do you have, Adam?
Okay, so Christmas has just passed us, and we've all been in the spirit of giving, and one of the things that a lot of people like to do at Christmas is they like to think of the people who are a little less fortunate and give to some charities, some worthy charities, right? So in England, some charity stores there have noticed a bit of a bizarre trend in some of the items they've been gifted over the holiday season to give to less fortunate people. So some of the gifts that have been given to charities, according to the Charity Aid Foundation, over this Christmas season, were a 19th century vase valued at nearly $3,000.
Wait, I have a question, Adam. This isn't like I'm giving it to like a pawn, like a thrift store that's going to be sold and then the money. This is actually for the less fortunate. Like I'm giving you the vase to be, part of the home of someone who presumably needs money.
I would like to think that, but I think it's the former.
Okay.
I think it's people giving it to, a charity shop.
Okay. Like when you donate your car, it's not like they're handing the keys to the less fortunate. They sell the car.
Right.
And
They're selling it and then giving the money to the less fortunate.
I think the beneficiaries in some of these situations should get the choice of whether they get the money or...
I think so too. I think you should be able to go into any Salvation Army and be like, either, I can receive some form of financial aid, or I can just kind of pick anything in the store that catches my eye. Another one, an original Kermit the Frog used on the Muppet Show.
What?
Yes, yeah.
The one
Who
with
had
the
that in
one
their
with
house?
the
Who had that just sitting around?
Yeah, was it the one with the cape, the dark ominous one, or the
No,
happy
he
one?
has the monocle, Cameron. You're remembering
that's
it
the
wrong.
one. That's the one. Yeah.
And as we all remember, voiced by Bob Balaban.
Ira Glass is just sitting right outside the studio right
with
now
a
with
vat of potato salad.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to get this Kermit gig one way or the other. Also, a sheep's head, a live ferret was one of them. I love, how do they think that, like, the Salvation Army is going to sell that? You're just going to put it in one of those big wire bins in the middle of the store with the price tag on it. Like,
it's just giving someone
you
a
can buy
chore.
this Gen 1 Xbox for $15, or here's a live ferret.
I think it's the same consumer, frankly, for those two items.
Yeah, people that are in the market for a $15 first gen Xbox have a lot of weird rodents in their house, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
ferret people do tend to fit a type, don't they?
Like the type of person that is like collecting an old Xbox for parts. I'm pretty sure has a terrarium somewhere in there.
Another one, a prosthetic leg. So,
was it a virtual reality leg? That's the question.
yeah, you look down, it's like, hey, I got a leg.
I feel like there's a story because it's only one of two things. It's that leg was acquired by, illegal means, or someone upgraded the leg. Because where else would you get a prosthetic leg from? Like they don't just become available.
If you upgrade your prosthetic leg, though, when I get a new pair of glasses, I keep the old pair just in case. If I break my new pair of glasses, I've got that kind of old pair that I can fall back on,
That's
in
true.
an emergency. Wouldn't you do the same with a prosthetic leg?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah,
I'd be curious if a prosthetic leg came through the door, exactly how that leg was acquired. But, the Goodwill, if there's anything I understand about their donation process, it's no questions asked.
If a prosthetic leg came through the door, I would be terrified that it was walking under its own power. That would be my first question: is how is this haunted prosthetic leg moving?
And then you realize that Sinbad was a genie right outside, and he was playing a trick on everybody.
Yeah.
So it was fulfilling a young boy's wish. Like, Sinbad, for my first wish, I'd like you to get my estranged parents back together. For my second wish, I'd like you to animate this prosthetic leg.
Adam, now that you mention it, you are describing the exact plot of Shazam as in my memory. I remember the latter half of the film took a weird turn. It was about a inanimate prosthetic leg that just came to life. It was weird. It was a weird movie. I can see why people don't like it.
It's odd. It's like when it starts, you really think it's going to be about getting the kids' parents back together, but that only takes up about the first 15 minutes, and the last 90 are just about that prosthetic leg moving.
Yeah, the first 15 minutes, he uses his genie powers to get back together. There's about a 5 to 10 minute long wedding scene, which seems a little bit long. The rest is all about this prosthetic leg. It just made little sense.
Just pulling hijinks.
Sinbad's not even in. He's not even in the last hour.
No, it's just the leg. And that's the thing is I think probably one of the reasons that this movie has been a bit forgotten is that it seemed a bit like false advertising. Really, all the advertising really should have centered around the prosthetic leg.
Well, maybe he was setting it up to do like a groundbreaking, like the world has never seen it, dance number with the prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
He just forgot to come out because he had some bad potato salad off screen. So he couldn't make it out, so the leg just kept going.
You're thinking of like a phenomenal tap dancing scene where Sinbad, the
it's
tap
a
dancing.
Gene Autry, Ginger Rogers sort of situation with Sinbad. And
he'll do a few moves, then the leg does a few moves, back and forth.
Yeah, a little tit for tat.
The movie was actually originally called A Leg Up.
No.
And focused more, the advertising focused more on the leg, but they thought they needed star power, so they brought Sinbad
at this
in
point,
at the
Sinbad
last
was
minute.
ascending his fame. Yeah.
And of course, some studio exec stepped in and said, no one's going to watch a 90-minute movie that only stars a prosthetic leg. We got to get Sinbad attached to this thing.
Well, that wise producer's name, Bob Balaban. Everybody. So.
But that is why Rick Moranis left Hollywood. He's just in utter disgust that he wasn't able to see through his prosthetic leg movie to its full vision.
Oh man, we've had some weird runs.
Yeah.
In our 12 years of doing this show.
This is the only one about a movie about that only stars a prosthetic leg that happened to be donated to a Goodwill.
And animated by the genie Sinbad.
That forced Rick Moranis into retirement.
Executive producer Bob Balaban forced Rick Moranis into retirement.
That's how it happened in my universe.
What's the weirdest thing you guys have ever bought at a thrift store or
a DC Talk double platinum album for Jesus Freak?
That's right. I forgot.
I got it from Goodwill.
Wow.
No one's going to top that.
I have to think on that. I've bought some weird things.
I told the story of what happened to my cousin at one point, right? Where he rode his bike to the thrift store to purchase some things. And at the time, he was, at a point where, this was, he didn't have a lot of money at the time. And he got around with this. The one nice thing he had was his bicycle. He parked it out front, and he's like walking around looking for things, and he hears over the loudspeaker, "Whoever just dropped off the Trek bicycle, thank you. It was sold immediately." And like the cashier started clapping because it brought so much money. And it was literally his bicycle.
Oh
like
my
that is
gosh.
the true story. He had no way to get home. Like they thought some generous person just came in and dropped the sweet bike right up by the front door. I mean, he had no recourse. I mean, the person wrote it off. So
No,
you gotta
you
be
could have
careful.
pressed charges. I would have called the cops. There's no way. You can't just
Well, I
walk
think
around and scoop stuff off the sidewalk. I mean, you have to. There's a donation
the person
process.
paid for it. They paid for it. They thought it was just a screwy mix up.
No.
I mean, Adam. Here's what I'm saying.
I think you have to George Costanza it and just take the credit as though you're really charitable.
I think what I think happened with that prosthetic leg, because I don't think it's possible that someone donated.
Oh no!
I think, Adam, here's my theory. And I know this is going to rub people the wrong way, but this is actually what happened. I think a person with a prosthetic leg went to the Goodwill, and he had to try on some clothes, and it was just easier to take the leg off at this point.
And lean it up against the outside of the dressing room.
outside of the dressing room to know that it's occupied. Okay, so no one walks in on him trying on a pair of
it's a sock
corduroys.
on the doorknob. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And of course, it's a prosthetic leg, and it sells immediately. And like I said, he just wants to people believe he's very charitable. These mix-ups happen all the times with prosthetics.
What's more puzzling to me about this story is how, who the buyer was who immediately snapped up a prosthetic leg.
like the second it leaned up against that dressing room door. Oh, I was just what I came for.
It was an old-timey Hollywood choreographer who was working on his dream movie with
It was
a
Hourglass.
sign.
groundbreaking dance number with Sinbad. And
The corduroys were a good fit, though, so it wasn't all lost. I mean, you got a good deal.
well, they kind of were baggy on one side,
Yeah,
you know,
I
they
mean,
kind of
yeah.
dangled there, you know. Yeah. All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Johnnyswim.
This is our song. For sons and daughters. Raise your glass and sing along. This is our song. This is our song. This is our song. The song the drunks all sing. Oh, raise your glass and sing along.
You're listening to our next guest, Johnnyswim. The song is Drunks. Johnnyswim is the husband and wife singer-songwriter duo Abner and Amanda Sudano Ramirez. And they create soulful, pop-friendly ballads with Americana flair. If you listened to our Top 50 podcast recently, we named their new album, Georgia Capond, one of our favorites of 2016. There's an article on Johnnyswim in the brand new issue of Relevant, which we'll tell you about in the next segment. But in addition to that article, which got into how they met and the death of Amanda's mom, who was music legend Donna Summer, and so much else, we wanted to have them on the podcast today to talk more in depth about their new album, about Georgia Capond, about how they make music, and about specifically the stories behind the songs that they created. Our very own Rebecca Marie Flores recently spoke to them when they were coming through town after one of their shows. Here is part of her conversation with Johnnyswim.
Nowhere to be, just you and me. Need nothing, flow with the breeze. We're fancy, ain't we, honey? Wherever we are, that's where we are. Kind of loving, you and I made a life, a paradise of a summertime romance.
Did you guys find that when you first got together, your creative process were very independent and siloed, and you had to kind of find a way to merge those two? Or was it
Great
very
question.
natural?
I thought it was super natural.
I feel like it was so natural. I think the biggest,
And you can feel that from the music,
Yeah.
But I suspect I'm like, no, they had to work at this.
it was really we kind of. Well, I think it's also because it didn't come from we have to write an awesome song right now. It came from us just having fun.
I think we have more to work through creatively now than we ever have.
Yeah,
because there's deadlines.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And I'm not I'll be like doing dishes or whatever, and he'll be like, "Hey babe, let's write this song, sing something to this," and I'll be like, "I'm doing dishes and the baby's crying," and I'm like, "Let's schedule it like tomorrow during his nap at 2:30. Why don't we sit down?"
Schedules.
And he hates scheduling. So that's like our biggest thing now is like finding the balance of like, being spontaneous and but also
The balance of spontaneous and schedule and structure.
Exactly.
'Cause I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. No, I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love with you.
We have so many voice memos, and I think most of our songs actually come about that way. Where
This album for sure.
Yeah, like where one of us will just write down a line or write down an idea or like sing like a small melody or something, and it just sits in the phone for however long, and then when we're like, oh, okay, let's write today, like we've got some time, let's like write some stuff, and we'll just like get together and go through all the voice memos.
There's a buddy of ours we write with a lot, Britton Newbone, so the three of us will sit there and we'll just all go through our voice memos, and Britton will play something for us and we're like, nah, or we'll play something, we're like, yeah, let's get on that, whatever. And then I have on my Evernote, I just have a list of song titles or concepts or ideas or whatever. And I'll just start reading through them.
Yeah.
Like literally just blah, 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 blah. They're like, oh, that's cool. And then we'll just start.
That's
We'll just go for it.
We're the fire from the sun. We're the light when the day is done. We are the brave, the chosen ones. We're the diamonds, rising up out the dust. Rising up out the dust.
What's been the biggest difference between Diamonds and Georgia Capon? Like, what are you excited about?
Oh man, so Georgia Capon, I love that you asked that. Diamonds was the product for sure of almost a decade of labor in secret and not knowing if anybody was going to pay attention to it or care about it. And it was just like I was kind of nervous. It was my first time producing an album. And so in the studio, I would just, if I was insecure about the production of a particular song, I would just add more stuff, And thank God it was, received well, loved it. We get to keep working, keep doing what we do. We don't have to go back to Starbucks or P.F. Chang's yet. And, but Georgia Capon was much more deliberate than Diamonds. The songs were written more deliberately. Diamonds, my buddy Matt Carney, you get 10 years to write your first album, but 2 years for your second. Yeah. You get 10 years for the first 2 years to repeat. And so I was excited going into Georgia Capon to have to make the album. But I think there was a sense of determination, one, because of a deadline, sure. But two, we had gone through so much through the process of Diamonds in our personal lives, losing parents, losing grandparents, life, losing some friends, relationships changing. Diamonds came out of this sense of like, all right, I need something to hold on to. So we wrote a lot of hopeful songs, wrote a lot like the song Diamonds. We wrote a lot of hopeful songs.
Depressing songs.
Or just full on like what is life songs.
Yeah.
These songs on Georgia Capon were written because we had to. They're like medicine to us. They're like therapy. The writing of them was therapy. The recording of them was the recording of the song Georgia Capon and the song Take a Night Instead. I will never forget because it was so magical. It felt like I was in a movie. It felt so beautiful. There was something there. There's a sense of purpose in Georgia Capon that I've never felt in music before. In our music before. So it's just at another level. So I'm excited to see people connected with that and feeling that sense of purpose and feeling that, the songs that we needed to write because they help us heal, the songs we needed to write because they make us smile because we needed a smile,
You're my hallelujah. Oh, you're my hallelujah. Yes, you are. Hallelujah. Oh, you're my hallelujah.
Talking about touching heaven.
Absolutely.
So we were in Nashville. We had a writing session with a guy named Chris DiStefano. We'd never met him before, and we were getting ready for him to come over. So we were like, we should have some ideas, or we should go through our voice memos and have some things so that we don't end up just you know, I think especially when you don't know the writer that you're working with, you want to make sure that you give it some like structure because it's for your record, you know, you give it some ideas because it's for your record so that they don't come in and just like have an idea and then you're like, oh wait, that's kind of their song, you know. You want it to be real. So he was sitting at the piano and I had Joaquin like just on the floor playing with toys and he was just, you know, kind of toying around on the black keys. Go ahead.
Literally just playing the black keys because I don't know how to play piano. And so I was like, man, it can't be that hard to write a song on the piano. This all sounds pretty. Why can't this just be a song? And so I did that. It's all right, that feels right. Now, you know, what am I going to sing? I don't know what to sing. So I just look over to my right, and Amanda and Joaquin are sitting on the floor playing. Joaquin's laughing and slobbering everywhere. And Amanda's just so happy and kissing him. And I didn't process the lyrics. I just literally sang, all I see are angels, all these streets of gold that lead to you. Like, it just felt like literally I was in heaven. Like, the thought in religion is that all this is for later. Like, sacrifice your now, because eternity, in every religion I feel like it's like that. You got your paradise, you got your heaven, you got whatever. Make all the necessary sacrifices now because the afterlife is really where the treasure is. And I kind of hate that concept. You know? Like,
you hate that people just...
I hate that...
Just live for that. As
I hate
opposed
the
to
idea of
realizing
just
that,
living for later.
Yeah, that kingdom here and now can be a thing and that God gives us...
We're just getting by.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, no, God's giving you like things now.
World's going to hell in a handbasket. I'm just
gonna
hide in a cave until Jesus comes back, or whatever the concept would be.
But to like recognize, right,
culture,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like recognizing when like God gives you little bits of heaven here, and it almost feels like a portal. You know what I mean? Like it almost
For sure.
feels like a portal to see more of Him in those little areas if you notice them. You know.
Oh, you're my hallelujah, yes you are. Hallelujah. Oh, you're my hallelujah. Oh, you're my whatever it takes, we're gonna build it back. If you don't speak out, we can't hear it. All is always here. Here in spirit. And all those who came before. Here in spirit.
You're listening to Jim James. The song is Here in Spirit. Just how I am right now.
Is his name James? Jim James?
You just blew my mind. There you go.
All right.
Well, it's the new year, and part of what makes that exciting isn't just fresh beginnings, resolutions, hope. The new issue of Relevant is out. The January-February issue of Relevant has hit newsstands and mailboxes nationwide. We normally do our new issue preview a week or even 2 weeks ago to build anticipation. But because of the holidays and best of and all of that, we're doing it this week, the first week in January. So this is more of a new issue walkthrough versus a new issue preview.
Yeah.
New year, new you.
Right.
Yeah, so if you have the
Mixing
issue
it
in front of you, read along with us.
It's going to be like reading Rainbow.
We are.
And we're going to go
better. Yeah.
when you're supposed to turn the page.
Everybody should go get their issue of the magazine.
Take a look.
And get
It's
that
in a
magic
book.
pin that goes like as you would like.
Start on page 96.
I had that as a kid.
Get some
Did you
snacks.
really?
Yeah, I did.
There's a real thing?
Uh-huh.
I always
You could
wondered.
follow along with the words.
No way.
And then
Really?
hit the button or like the thing in the corner that signaled that you were done and it would turn the page.
Can I just say, I never had that, and this is the first time I'm hearing of it, but it sounds like the lamest toy ever. Cool, a reading toy.
with
Give me a pair of rollerblades, please. Yeah,
I
or
loved
snap
it.
bracelet or something cool.
A snap bracelet.
Gak. Remember Gak? Gak was cool. It was like a slime that you could throw around.
LeVar Burton was
Anyway.
cool. He had those Star Trek glasses.
And Chelsea would just be sitting, little Chelsea
Your
would just
nerdy
be sitting there
reading
with
pen.
her
Reading
little,
away.
little reading pen.
You still got it. It's at her desk.
Her parents would ground her from reading for his punishment. Yeah.
That book doesn't have enough words.
So
Chelsea's dad.
the newest Irrelevant. Oh, by the way, welcome to we booted Adam for this segment, and we are welcoming in our editorial director Aaron Hambury.
Hello.
And our managing editor Rebecca Jo Flores.
Hi, guys.
Hi. And Chelsea's here still, and Jesse's still here, and we have a very full crew. The newest Irrelevant is exciting. We've been doing this magazine a long time, and there's a few reasons why this one's exciting, but Jesse can attest to the fact that over the years, there have been a few people, we call them our Mount Rushmore,
people
of names that are just like, we Relevant need to talk to this person. It would just, it just hits on every level. They're fascinating. They're, the many layers to what the conversation would be. And the conversation we would have would only happen in our magazine. Mm-hmm. We can't always get these people, but eventually we keep chipping away. And we've had some success lately. And the person carrying the cover of this issue is one of those people we've been fans of for a long time. Ira Glass from This American Life and podcast and radio broadcast pioneer Ira Glass is on the cover.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And we've gotten a ton of feedback.
Yeah.
Just people being like, oh, I'm excited to see Ira on it, which we generally, we get a lot of feedback on, I think, any issue.
Finally, a middle-aged white man on your cover.
There's such a big audience for middle-aged white
People
men.
also think it looks like an aged
They're having a
Cameron
comeback,
Strang.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I will say this though. There are two there's one thing of like talking to someone you really want to talk to, that the audience wants to hear from. And then there's something where you've talked to one of those people and they have a lot to say about faith, and they have a lot of interesting ideas about the intersections of faith and culture. And even though Ira Glass himself is an atheist, his thoughts about Christianity, his thoughts even about the teachings of Jesus, I thought were really profound, and it was just really exciting to be able to have that type of conversation, because really I don't really know what other outlet would or could with a figure like him. So yeah, it was he was able to give us a really fascinating interview and some really profound insights into his ideas about faith, making culture, and the ability for faith to speak into it.
Some of the people we go after to interview for the magazine are scared of the fact that we are at the intersection of faith and culture. Ira, when the request got to him, said absolutely yes, because we cover at the intersection of faith and culture.
Well, and he's got such a fascinating take. I mean, he's obviously, in some ways, he's like the definition of what you think of as Northeastern elite types. But his whole thesis is, in the circles he's around, he thinks people, or Christians rather, get a bad rep.
Totally.
And he just told us, he was like, there's a lot of, stuff going on about Christians cause this or that or the other. He's like, but all the Christians I know are nice. So I don't know where the disconnect is. And that's kind of what he wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And also, I know a lot of mean Christians. I'll introduce them to them.
Yeah. If you're on Twitter very much or post
if you read any of our Facebook comments.
They're in there.
Hey, Ira, here they are. Yeah.
Well, that's where the interview, that's the direction went. Let me introduce you to some real jerks out there. Let me take you to this.
Ira, you have a false perception of Christians being
nice. The whole
nice.
interview was just tagging Ira Glass in the comments on people's comments.
No, but he also actually, he talked about even just the influence of, how Jesus communicated has actually been influential to him, and how he produces This American Life and a lot of the projects he's worked on. It was a really fascinating to hear some of his thoughts.
He told us that we didn't know this. They actually gather in a prayer circle before every episode and relive the Last Supper. That's they reenact it.
The pre-show meeting takes like 5 hours.
5 hours. They all sit on one side of the table because he learned that from Jesus.
Takes a lot to pass.
A
lot of time.
They all have sore necks.
Can you pass the salt? And you got to go down
2
like
hours
13
later.
people. Yeah.
I will say, I feel like a lot of storytellers in entertainment have an addiction to telling, or at least just the desire to tell.
They do have a lot of addictions. It's a terrible situation in Hollywood.
Terrible situation. But I feel like people want to tell like the good side of the story to like a villain. Like a lot of people enjoyed Breaking Bad because you were rooting for a villain because you kind of understood.
The anti-hero.
Yes. Yeah. So I liked that. Ira Glass is getting people to understand the like positive side to Christianity, which is,
and they'll listen to him because he's an atheist, because he's an academic elite and NPR and all that, and he's seeing this subversive opportunity that he has to build awareness and build bridges and build empathy even.
yeah.
And honestly, I think that's so cool because in the American landscape, so many stereotypes exist about Christians, and people can, brush a really broad stroke over kind of faith in general. And with, his platform, which is humongous, he tells a lot of the nuance about like American faith. And so it's awesome.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He has no agenda other than to tell great stories, and that's the only thing that he's holding to, and that's what makes a lot of what he says and produces so compelling.
Also in the issue, Bastille, who is like killing it right now.
Yeah.
I think they've had like 5 singles from this album.
That's crazy.
Coachella's lineup got announced this week, and they're one of the major bands playing there as well.
Insane.
Bastille is in the new issue. Johnnyswim, who's on the show today, and also Gungor on the culture side and music side. Gungor
Very
is in the
exciting.
issue. Phenomenal story. Kind of telling
we
a
took
little
a different approach with Gungor. Like it wasn't a music profile, like perhaps like a lot of our music coverage is. Instead, we take a look back at the past couple years that Michael Gungor and his wife have gone through, both creatively and
helped plant a church and then lost it. Moved to LA, had a terrible pregnancy situation and health of their daughter who was born with Down syndrome and all of that. And then Michael has a tendency to publicly ask questions about faith, and they got kind of annihilated for some things, and quite a 2 years. And then on the other side of that, they released this trilogy of albums, which just released the latest of, and it's interesting to hear all of that and what went into the music. Kind of makes you hear it in a different way.
Yeah.
There's also a really interesting article called God's Economy, and leading up to the election,
God's economy ?
Question mark. Yeah. So is it God's economy?
God's economy?
How does it work? Leading up to the election, there were so many issues that surrounded economic understanding of how like our systems work, and it's really interesting.
Socialism, Bernie Sanders.
It's super interesting because it like breaks it down to a level where it's accessible. You kind of learn something, and honestly,
and we give you a special pen that you can read along with, and
at
just
the
helps
end
you
of the
understand it.
No,
and there's a little question you fill in things as you go. No, it's true.
Yeah.
But this was a huge topic of discussion this year because of the election cycle of socialism versus capitalism, and it's kind of a thing.
What's the biblical approach?
Right,
And does Jesus care?
Well, when you kind of look at a lot of Jesus' teachings and biblical teachings, it's what we would deem socialism, and so, but all the Christian right are all about economics and capitalism, and it's kind of like, what? Wait, huh?
Yeah, so we just that's kind of what got us going. Is I think, like you said, the Christian right largely has been on the Republican side, which is heavily free market, pro free market, and then Hollywood Reporter did a study, kind of at the hype or at the middle of the hype of the Bernie Sanders movement, and like 76% or something of the people they surveyed said that if Jesus were involved, or if he were around today, he would vote for Bernie Sanders because Jesus was clearly a socialist. And these include Christians that he surveyed.
Yeah, no, but it does speak to an interesting dilemma that I think a lot of Christians are thinking about and have thought about in this election cycle. And
if
this
they
article,
aren't, they should be, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is one of those issues that supersedes partisan politics or your job, your career, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like when the Christian argument about immigration happens. Well, I get that your political leaning or your TV channel that you watch might, portray it one way, but the Bible actually, if you read it for what it says about the issues of immigration and nationalism, very difficult to rectify. Right. And so this economics question and money and capitalism and socialism is one of those tensions that does the Bible and politics, or do they match up? And how? And
one of the things I like just about the article and about the topic in general is, so many of the issues we talk about here at Relevant are kind of like you're saying, Cameron. They come down fairly black and white. When we're talking about issues of life, race, etc. I like tackling a topic that ultimately comes down in some gray areas. We don't walk around with walk away with a clear like, oh well, the Bible says you need to be a capitalist or a socialist.
Right.
One of the great things about this issue is that you can come off an article that is, really thinky and is going to make you kind of question some of these big ideas and jump right into something really practical and a lot of fun that actually Rebecca wrote about 17 ways to make this year the best ever, which is full of practical and really fun advice.
We're 5 days in. I'd like to give an update. I've done 16 of the 17. Best 5 days ever. Just saying.
What's the outlier?
That was
there,
the plan.
Cameron?
That was the plan.
What's the 17th you haven't done?
It's akin to This American Life Last Supper pre-production meal, and it's very hard to get into.
That's clearly going to be the hardest.
You got like 360 days to get it done.
It's going to be like the Mecca pilgrimage.
I did join a book club because of reading this article. So thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
So this was a lot of fun to write because we all have goals at the beginning of the year, and then it's like, so overwhelming to get through the week and fall behind and not really know where to start. So here you can just like open it up, just close your eyes, pick one, and do that one. And each day you can just start.
I have a question, a little technical question to the author. The suggestion number 12. Become a mentor to kids in your community. Would my role here at Relevant with you guys be like that? Would that qualify? Because if so, that might be 17 for 17.
Cameron, I think we need to assign you to a ragtag team, little league team.
That's true.
That nobody wants. The outcasts, the losers. They got no chance of winning a game this season.
I did ask for an outing to Coachella yesterday.
That is true. Yeah, it's a mentorship retreat where several of us, I'll just take the kids in our community under my wing. We'll go out to Coachella together.
Yeah, I'm with Jesse. I feel like you need to revive a youth league sports team and turn them into champions.
All right. So I'm still 16 for 17. All right. Okay.
We'll give you 16 and a half on that.
Another thing, speaking of ways to improve your life in the new year, another piece that I thought was really great this issue was the lost art of creating margin, which is something that, a lot of people talk about in a way that is like, oh, this is like a practical thing I need to do to kind of enjoy my day better. But this piece breaks down not only the practical aspect, but the spiritual aspect and how it's sort of built into, what God desires for our life with this whole idea of Sabbath and, time to reflect and time to rejuvenate. But it also gives you really practical ways to do it in the new year. Which I think is a really important thing, especially in like a January, February issue where people are thinking about how to become more efficient and do things that they want to do, is to also remember that this idea of creating margin isn't just one that's going to be beneficial for your mental and probably physical health, but it's also something that we're mandated to do spiritually, and this article really breaks that down.
And in the next issue, we cover the lost art of creating margarine. So it's just like a precursor.
Kind of like butter.
It's actually the cover story. Cameron, can we give that away? The margarine? The big double issue?
Bringing the jokes. Bringing the comedic heat.
Wow.
The double issue.
The margarine double issue. Rebecca, I know you're excited. You've been working about a year on this thing.
I have, done a lot of research.
Before you
30,000 words.
Buying a lot of, you can't believe it's not butter.
Earth balance.
That's the whole sidebar. Different people in the office who could and couldn't believe it. It's not butter.
And I'll say there's no images in this. We filled every portion of space with words. We had no space for images. This is a long story about margin.
Quite a spread.
3 columns. Is that a journalism joke?
I had no idea what you were going to say.
That's
but
his
I knew
Jesus
you
take
had
the wheel
something
right
to say.
there. Just sitting on it.
The show's done.
We're
Everyone
in this segment
wrap
on
it
a
up.
high note. Drop the mic. We're done. Go get the new issue of Relevant.
Bye, everybody.
The issue is out now. If you own a tablet device, you can go over to your app store and experience it. There's a lot more content than that. Lauren Daigle's in there. Matt Chandler's in there. There's a bunch of great stuff.
Show Baraka.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a really diverse, fun, entertaining lineup, challenging. The whole gamut. It's a good
everything
stuff.
you want in a
Now, here's the
magazine.
deal, though. You know that going out on a high note thing, I kind of feel like that's what we're doing with the magazine with this issue, because the next issue, the March issue, some big changes are afoot.
Huge.
And so this format of Relevant, just pinnacle right here. This is the peak.
It peaked.
It peaked. We're going to blow it up. So stay tuned for those big changes. We'll be talking more about that leading up to the March issue. But go get this one. Subscribe now at relevantmagazine.com. You can get it for just $6 for 6 months. And
So affordable.
And we'll add this issue for free. So normally it wouldn't like it would kick in with the next issue, your half year subscription. But we're going to send you this fourth one as a bonus right now. So you will get 4 issues for $6, $1.50 an issue. So go get that now. Okay, thanks for joining us, guys. Stay tuned.
Bye, guys.
Up next, feedback.
Cause I got that wanderlust. Let's go somewhere we can fall in love. Somewhere far from here. Baby, let's go far from here. Bangladesh in a Hong Kong. Ooh, I wanna take you there. I wanna take you there. Summer in the fall, Sweden in the fall. Baby, we should go someday. We should go someday. You can spin a gold, pick a place to go. And
You're listening to Black Party, not to be confused with Block Party. Very different group. The song is Wanderlust, which every millennial has. Well, it's time for your feedback. We usually kick off feedback with corrections and apologies. And this is when I would like to take a moment to acknowledge Bleepgate.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And do you want to preemptively apologize for the prosthetic leg jokes, or we just wait till next week?
Yeah, let's go ahead and just say sorry now.
Yeah.
Just get that out of
that
the way.
happened moments ago. I immediately regret it, but nothing can be done.
It was regrettable. We've learned a lot since then. We've grown as people.
We won't tussle his hair again. Yeah. So a couple episodes ago, our good friend Eddie Koffoltz was on here with us, and twice on the episode happened. And the internet is all a Twitter, wondering, what did Koffoltz say?
Yeah.
There's fan theories. The dark web is just lit up over this. And I'm not going to tell you what he said. But Eddie did, after he listened to the show, Eddie did text me and he say, what did I say? And then I reminded him, and he's like, which was unnecessary censorship because it's way funnier. The mystery is funnier. And he said, I do have a reputation, And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So I apologize to Eddie for us unnecessarily bleeping him. Chandler came to me while he was editing the show and he said, hey, there's this thing. What should we do with it? I don't want to take it totally out because it led to this other thing, which is funny. And I was like, well, just bleep him. So we both laughed and he did.
Yep.
And there you go. So it wasn't as bad as some of the conspiracy theories are alluding to. It was funnier bleeped. We'll just leave it at that. So sorry to Eddie.
Not like the time that he broke into just an unbroken 10-minute string of random unconnected swear words that got more and more scatological.
Right. No, we left that in.
Right.
That's fine.
That's
this is the internet.
That's gold. You don't lose that.
We bleeped out wine, but we left in the. All right. Well, on that note, okay. So it's time for your feedback. This is normally where we would ask you or read your feedback from the question of the week. But last week was our best of 2016 episode. And thanks for everybody for listening to that, by the way. And we got a lot of positive feedback and we enjoyed seeing your comments. It was a crazy year and a lot of amazing guests came through the studio and it was fun kind of reliving that with you guys. But because it was the best of, we didn't have a question of the week. So this week, instead of reading your feedback, we'll just move straight on to this week's
editorial question of the week. Hey.
Well, if you stuck around, if you're listening to this, earlier in the show, we were talking about thrift stores and the weirdest thing you've ever gotten at a thrift store. So we want to know, what is the weirdest thing you've ever acquired at a thrift store or the weirdest thrift store item that you've seen, et cetera, et cetera. To tell us your feedback, you can go over to the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com and post your stories in the comments area there. Or you can hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast and we will read our favorite replies on the show next week. Might even maybe have some of them call in so we can ask them more. Yeah. Because I think this could get pretty strange. Yeah.
Bonus points if you actually send the item in.
Agreed.
Well, many thanks to Johnnyswim for joining us. Make sure to check out the article with them in the brand new issue of Relevant. And also, don't miss their new album. It's out now called Georgia Capond. If you listen to our top 50 episode, we named it one of our favorite albums of the year, and it's phenomenal. They're great people, and go support great artists. There you go.
Yeah, and please, if you're insulting Michael Phelps, please call him Johnnyswim.
If you like see him at a Burger King or something, just be like, "Hey, what's up, Johnnyswim?"
Yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, you think you're something special, Johnnyswim? Yeah, just taunt him.
Oh yeah. Nice onion rings, Johnnyswim. Yeah.
Cool. You can swim everybody better than everybody. Cool. Whatever, Johnnyswim. Yeah.
Nice PC laptop, Johnnyswim. Yeah. The new issue of Relevant is out now. If you have a tablet, full-size tablet device, go over to your app store. You can download the new issue there. If you are around a Barnes & Noble or other awesome magazine retailers, go check out the newsstand edition. And you can also subscribe and go online, go to relevantmagazine.com. Right now we're running a New Year's special where you can get 6 months of the magazine for only $6, and we're going to throw in a bonus extra issue included. It says 4 copies of the magazine for only $6, $1.50 an issue. It basically what it costs us to print it. So take advantage of our business stupidity and go subscribe to Relevant.
We don't understand how economics works.
I don't know how we're going to pay rent, but please get our magazine.
And I'll say this, this again makes no economic sense, but for this issue only, for this deal only, interesting trades from the thrift store will be accepted. Specifically looking for prosthetics and live ferrets. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind as you're, rooting through your stuff. I'm looking for live animals here in exchange for magazines. Continue, Cameron.
relevantmagazine.com/subscribe to get that offer. Hey, if you're online, go and you enjoy the show. That's an important caveat. Go over to iTunes and leave a review. When you guys review the show, even though there's 10, 11 years of reviews there, when there's fresh ones added, it helps boost the visibility of the program and find new listeners. So we appreciate your feedback and reviews at iTunes. And on that note, we will wrap it up. Thanks for joining us, Adam, dude. This is awesome. Eddie will be back next week, but it's fun that for one more time, Adam was able to glass Eddie and sidle up and take his
what
spot.
I'm constantly waiting to do, because I feel like he kind of glassed me to get where he is.
That's true.
I'll say this. Eddie has been food poisoned numerous times in the last few months, and we're actually getting concerned about him. So we'll figure out another method. To get you on. But,
well, it's the vegan potato salad doesn't keep the same
he's
as the other
violently
potato salads, and he keeps leaving it out. Yeah. Oh, poor Eddie. Oh, we miss him.
Here's another package from Australia. That says potato.
You'd think he'd stop eating potato salad at some point, but he just doesn't learn. Old potato salad Kaufman, that's what we call him. We call him potato salad Kaufman, even though that's not his
last name. He literally cannot help himself when he sees potato salad. He knows it's rancid. He knows what illness is coming. But I'll say this: Adam makes a very mediocre potato salad, and Eddie cannot help himself.
Well, it's consistent.
And the thing is Adam keeps mailing it to him from Australia, which is how it gets rancid every time. The dry ice, he doesn't put enough in there, and it's gone by the time it hits Hawaii. So, the entire rest of the journey is just turning. And
yeah, that potato salad's been on a cargo ship for the last 3 weeks, Eddie.
But if there's one thing potato salad Kaufman can't pass up, it's potato salad.
It's potato salad that's been in the hull of a poorly ventilated ship for 2 years. He's got a problem. He loves this stuff. He just loves it.
Well, it has that kind of seafood flavor because of its cargo ship passage.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. I mean, sometimes it tastes like diesel fumes because it's been sitting next to a shipload, a bunch of trucks. I mean, Adam ships it the cheapest possible way with zero care for the contents of the package, which happens to be already spoiled potato salad.
It's not like it's going to get worse.
All right, on that note, we'll wrap it. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chelsea Steele.
I'm Chandler String.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Adam Smith.
And we'll see you next week, unless somebody glasses us.
Hand with fear for the afterlife. How can we fight it? We don't even know why.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Connect with us on Twitter @RelevantPodcast and get bonus material from this episode and more at the podcast section on relevantmagazine.com. And don't forget to check the magazine out. It's available on newsstands and at the iTunes App Store, or you can subscribe online at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Is strong, while nobody else relies. When they turn the corner, when you know we're out of sight, dark days in the summer, in the rain, the water's fine. It was wild combination, either that or right down the line. Ooh, it goes hand in hand with fear for the afterlife. Ooh, how can we fight it if we don't even know why?
I would hate to see any of them get glassed in the future.